So, anger and hatred are the real enemy, rather than what we think of as the enemy, the external enemy. We usually externalize the enemy and say the enemy is outside. But now we're saying the enemy is inside, in that it's the anger and the hatred are the enemy. And we've invited them into our home, into the most private parts of our lives. So we can be alone, but we're creating so much suffering for ourselves with this inner enemy. We can sit at home with nobody around, and we can invite the inner enemy in. We open the front door and say, welcome, come in. And then we think and think and think, and we develop the enemy in our minds and project it out onto the other. So, whereas the external enemy has other things to do, right? So if we're thinking about the external enemy, I really hate that person, they have other things to do. They have to go to work, they have to eat, sleep, they have things to do, right? The internal enemy of anger and hatred has only one job, only one thing to do. It will only disturb you. So this is really worth thinking about. When you think of anger and hatred, you invited it in, it only has one thing to do: to disturb you, to destabilize you, to take away your qualities. But what does the enemy, the external enemy, have to do? Lots of other things, not thinking about you. It's eating, sleeping. So the external enemy is part-time, but the internal enemy is full-time. And who invited them in? You. Who said, come in, we've got a room for you, we've got a bed for you, stay as long as you want. Right? The external enemy has brakes, the internal enemy does not. So this is the harm.